Hello, my name is Cameron Keys. From tear-jerking dramas to action-packed blockbusters, from spine-tingling horrors to spellbinding romances, no medium has compelled audiences quite like film. In its long, rich history, film has inspired, entertained, and educated audiences all throughout the world. This is the history of the film industry.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Thank you.
While today's standards of filmmaking include the use of digital photography, computer-generated characters, and settings that allow filmmakers to create anything their minds can imagine. The early days of film were only made from pictures that were placed together to form moving images. The term motion pictures that we still use today was initially used to refer to still photographs placed together consecutively to create an image that seemed to move. The earliest uses of this initial form of moving images within the film industry began in the late 1800s, with several inventions that allowed moving photographs or drawings to be watched individually through a machine. In 1895, a Frenchman named Louis Lumière invented a portable motion picture device called the cinematograph that allowed individuals to capture images, process the film, and project the film at the same time. Later, Lumière and his brother were the first to project moving images to a paying audience. At the turn of the 1900s, the moving image films were affectionately known as movies and were becoming more advanced in their storytelling efforts. The movies created during this time were composed of more than one shot and featured basic editing techniques. Other film techniques were also created during this time, such as panning shots and placing cameras on moving vehicles. Films were also beginning to use special effects such as stop motion, double exposure, and filming in slow motion to achieve a sped up version of the film when playback at normal speed. The films that were created during this time frame were all silent films and were presented to the audience with live musicians playing music in the theater. The films of this era also relied on storytelling through the use of extreme facial expressions and body language, with the minimal dialogue written on the screen to allow for audiences to understand the emotions portrayed on the screen. Some of the most relevant films of this silent era include A Trip to the Moon and Charlie Chaplin's The Kid. By the 1920s, technology was created to allow for audio to be present in films. These films were called talkies at the time. The first feature-length film to have synchronized sound was The Jazz Singer from the Warner Brothers Studios in 1927.
Wonderful pals are always hard to find. Some folks have one, some folks have none. And I was alone for years, but fate was kind.
With the advent of sound and films, filmmakers were exposed to a new way to present their stories. Using dialogue and music to advance the story plots, film became a choice of entertainment of the day.
With sound now available, a new genre was introduced into film, the musical era. Some notable films during this era are Gone with the Wind and the classical movie The Wizard of Oz.
That I heard of once in a lullaby.
Understand that.
Two of the most popular films of the World War II era include Casablanca
He's looking at you, kid.
and Citizen Kane. Filmmakers created epic movies during the 1950s, such as The Ten Commandments, that started in 1956. Psychological horror films started to emerge with Alfred Hitchcock's biggest hit, Psycho. The 1970s introduced a new era in film with the introduction of one of the biggest blockbuster summer movies ever, Steven Spielberg's Jaws.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
In the 1980s, the Lucas Spielberg era would dominate Hollywood cinema for much of the 80s. And one of their biggest blockbuster hits was 1981's Indiana Jones: Raiders of the Lost Ark. The early 1990s saw the development of commercially successful independent cinema in the United States. This era was increasingly dominated by special effects films, just like in the 1993 summer blockbuster Jurassic Park. In the 2000s, 3D films started to emerge with the release of the reality camera system. This reality camera system was used to film 2009's Avatar, directed by James Cameron. Avatar is also noteworthy for pioneering highly sophisticated use of motion capture and digital technology, and became the highest grossing film of all time. Another movie to use digital technology and motion capture technology was Joss Whedon's 2012 summer blockbuster, The Avengers. With its development of silent pictures to the digital technology of today, film has influenced society and helped promote culture all throughout the world. Thank you for joining me on this brief overview of the history of the film industry. Until next time, I'm Cameron Keys, and I'll see you